All right, we'll take your questions for either of the student athletes. Let's start right on the front row.
Josiah, I mean, obviously you sat for a long period in the first half. It seems like it might have been tough to cool off and come back in, but you started so quick. Were you feeling it? Shooting at halftime. When did you kind of realize that, hey, I've got something going?
Nothing really felt different. I was a little cold. I got stretched during halftime, but those are shots that I practiced, and so I just trust my work, trust my teammates, and credit to them. They Urosh and Brandon were screening to get me open. Zakai, Kennedy, Santi were passing it, putting it on the money, and so all the shots felt good, but credit to my teammates.
Raise your hand if you have other questions. Let's stay on the front row. Go ahead.
Is this game a testament to the backcourt depth with Kennedy dealing with a injury and y'all still scoring, finding ways to produce?
That question was for who? Well, pick one. Thank you.
I say, yeah. Our mentality throughout the year is always next man up because you never know what's going to happen. And we're thankful that Kennedy's doing well, that he's okay. But we had faith in whoever was going to come in. It just happened to be Zakai and JP. They got a lot of the minutes. But we knew that there was going to be no production drop off because we practice and play against each other each and every day. So we were prepared.
Next question over on the left side.
Zakai, I'm sure you've become so accustomed to playing alongside Kennedy and alternating with him. Did anything change for you when he was kind of out trying to work that ankle out a bit?
Honestly, no, because I already knew, just like Josiah said, next man up. So I'm just always prepared as long as my other teammates. So I just always knew to be ready.
Raise your hand. Other questions? Let's go ahead and get on the far side, and then we'll come back to the center aisle.
Zakai, Iverson Molinar had 9 points for them in the first half, only one on 0 of 3 shooting or 0 of 6 shooting, I should say, in the second half. How much of a point of emphasis was he kind of slowing him down to slowing out the rest of this offense?
We knew if we contained him that it would make the game easier for all of us. So my mindset was just take him out the game. That's what I was thinking.
Okay, question on the front row center aisle. Go ahead.
Josiah, Zakai and Kennedy had 14 assists and just 1 turnover. What's it like playing with those two when they just have complete feel for the game?
It's fun. I'm thankful and grateful that I get to play with all my teammates, but specifically those guys because they just make the game so easy for everybody around them. So yeah, it's a lot of fun playing with them when they're playing their best basketball.
Question down here on the front row.
Zakai, you guys talked a lot about how much faith you had in Josiah earlier in the season when his shots weren't falling. What's it like seeing that run today where he hits 4 straight 3-pointers?
Oh, it was great. I was jumping all around, waving in the air. I felt like I was making the shots. I just love seeing all my teammates do that, and especially him. Once he was knocking all them down, I felt like I was doing all that. So that's all it was.
The one you shot the air ball that slipped.
Wait, air ball?
I didn't think we were going to talk about that one.
Next play.
Next one's going there.
That's right.
This question for Brandon Hatfield tonight, 10 points. It seemed like he was a force in there with John Fulkerson. What is it about him? What does he bring to the game, especially this type of situation in the tournament?
It's his mentality when he wants to play physical and when he's playing at his best and imposing his will. I mean, it's really hard to stop him. I know firsthand because I have to guard him. And so we're just I'm happy to see him grow throughout the year. The way he's playing right now is really what we need. And it's no surprise to us. But when he really puts his mind to it and tries to impose his will, those are the results that we get.
Was there a hand in the way back? Okay, we're good. We got time for 1 or 2 more. Okay, let's go to the back on the left.
Josiah, you've been shooting the ball well for the last 3 or 4 games, not just tonight. Is it just one of those things in a rhythm, superstition, eating the same thing for breakfast? Just what is it lately?
Just trusting in my work and trusting my teammates having faith in me, my coaches having faith in me. I mean, they give me the utmost confidence. Those guys and everybody in the locker room are always telling me to shoot the next one's going in. And I truly believe that. And so I just say trusting in my teammates and trusting in my work because I put the time in. And so I think it's going to pay off.
Time for one more. Anyone? All right, we'll take the last one on the right.
JJJ, what do you prefer more, hitting those threes, or do you prefer getting a stop on the defensive end?
I can answer that for you. He likes to win.
Exactly.
Okay,
as long whatever helps us get the win in the win column, that's all I care about. They're both fun though. They're really both fun.
All right, thank you. We'll excuse the student athletes. You return to the locker room. And we'll continue on with Coach Barnes. If you have a question, raise your hand. Let's start right here on the front row.
Yeah, Rick, just kind of stepping away from the game. I'm not sure if you've seen this news yet, but Conzo Martin is out at Missouri, given he is the former coach in your position at Tennessee. I just kind of wanted to get your reaction to that and kind of your thoughts.
Disappointed. I think this year you're going to see some. First of all, there's not a finer person in the business than Coach Martin. I'm telling you, if I had a son, I've said it before, I'd love for him to play for him. I think you see this year where the transfer portal a year ago stripped some programs where they had some things going. And, you build to a point where, like you're asking me right now where we are, it's hard not for me to sit here and think in 3 weeks, 4 weeks, whatever the season's over with, that next part's going to happen that we don't know. I can't tell you one thing about what I think could happen with our program. But Coach Martin and Tom Cream, I think both of those guys, that one thing I know, they're both terrific basketball coaches. But knowing Coach Martin better, I can tell you this, I've got 2 adopted Black grandchildren, and I called him one day and said, help me through this. Tell me what I need to know as a grandfather. And my daughter was having some issues that she wanted to answer to, and Conzo's wife talked with my daughter, and so I look at him in a whole different light. And I know this: if I were an AD somewhere, he'd be the first guy I'd want to go get him, because I know him and I know where his heart is in terms of the game of basketball. He's always done it right. And again, I said when I went to Tennessee that I thought that he had walked into a tough situation there and handled it with great class. And again, and when I went to when the first time I saw Coach Martin after I'd accepted the job at Tennessee, he had nothing but glowing remarks about Tennessee and said, "Hey, they've got a great basketball base. You're going to love it." And so I have great respect for him, and it saddens me, to be honest with you, because again, he's not just a guy that I've competed against, but a guy that, like I said, has given me some wonderful advice over the years in a lot of different areas.
All right, next question goes to the third row right here, and then we'll come right down to the second row.
Coach, 2 quick questions. 21 assists on 29 made field goals today. Is that the best you shared the ball all year?
Well, we do a good job normally when we're not dribbling the air out of the ball, and we're moving the ball, cutting, and they made us dribble a little bit more than we probably want tonight, because they're an extremely well coached team, and they were putting some pressure on us. But when we're moving the ball and we have player movement, ball movement, that's when we play our best basketball. We don't have one guy on the team that's selfish. And so that's how we normally like to play.
Coach, your college roommate at Lenora Ryan became the winningest college coach at Lenora Ryan. How much influence did Johnny Ray have on Ricky Ray?
A lot. I've told everybody as a young kid, I'd heard about the word intensity, but I didn't know what the definition was until I met John Lentz. And as a senior, me as a freshman, he let me move in. He was a dorm resident. He let me move in and keep what scholarship money I had. But he's like a big brother to me. And, obviously his son Brian's on our staff and has done a great job for us. But John, wonderful person, and certainly a great mentor when I needed it.
Okay, second row.
Coach, just first quickly, do you have an update on Jonas? Jonas and looked like he had a wrist injury. Is that not true?
Well, you mean why he didn't play? Well, he picked up quick fouls, and again, he was getting buried in there a little bit too deep. He hit pretty hard. I don't know if he did or not. I don't. If he did, I don't. But the reason, we just felt like Brandon had got it going. Folky and Uros, those 3 guys were doing a terrific job, and we knew at some point we'd move Joe down, slide him over there to go the smaller lineup. But I don't.
You mentioned Brandon. Just what about his game, his first postseason game? It looked like he had it going early. Did you see that coming?
You know what? He did. And I think that, again, when he gets locked in on the defensive end and rebounds the ball and brings his physicality, he really helps us. He really does. And when he's really locked in, he's a good defender. He's learned to do that. He's learned to really utilize our scouting reports. And Now it's about being consistent, and he's learning that the game is faster. He's got really good hands. And I told him, I said, you're losing the ball too much because you're putting yourself in a crowd by holding the ball too much. You're going to have to, if you don't play quicker, people are going to come strip it and take it from you. But when he plays with the quickness that he's capable of, he can score baskets.
This question on the left in the middle.
Rick, what went into the decision to put Kennedy back in there over the final 9 minutes or so? And how do you kind of balance wanting to keep that, one of your leaders healthy going into the NCAA tournament versus trying to win this tournament?
Well, I've listened to him and our trainers, and I mean, and one concern we had coming in, we hadn't played, and we really, we took a long time off after our game Saturday. And when you take that much time off, trying to get guys healthy, like I thought Zakai got better because Zakai literally has not practiced 10 minutes since we played Arkansas. And I thought early but I thought he did. Again, the game got better, he got better. I think it's hard this time of year if you don't keep your reps. But in Kennedy's situation, all I said to him, if I see you limping, you're coming out of the game. And he said, well, I'm not limping. I said, well, I think you're limping. He said, well, I got kicked or something. I said, is it the ankle? He said, no. And I was kidding with him back there. But it's up to him. I said to him, how do you feel? And he said, I'm fine. So that's, we have to trust him on that.
Okay, next question on the left side.
Coach, 5 players in double figures, a 6th player with 8. Is that kind of a dream to have that kind of balance in a game?
Well, we're at our best when we have that balance, but we also, I think our guys have learned tonight when the guys got it going to get to them. And I thought they did a really good job of that with Joe. And we had a couple, and Mississippi State was pushing you into deeper possessions. I mean, we're going to have to continue to move, but we did. And tonight I thought we did do a better job of putting the ball on time and right in the shooting pocket. I mean, that's something we talked about all year, delivering the ball when it needed to be delivered and letting guys get set up before we give it to them too soon. But when we're playing our best, yeah, we're playing with great balance.
We're going to take 3 more quick questions. Let's go to the front row right here. Then we'll go to the middle aisle and then the back.
Rick, with Kennedy, what was the injury and how concerning is it when you see a player 3 times in the same game go down holding an ankle like that?
Well, you know what? It's always concerning with players, but I've had players that I can tell you one time years ago with TJ Ford went down and I thought he was really, really hurt, but I'd gotten to know him so well. I walked over to him and we're at Madison Square Garden. I said, are you hurt? And he literally looked up at me. He said, where's the camera? And he wasn't hurt, but he was playing to the camera. So, but as a coach, yeah, you're always concerned when you see a player go down and you see him coming out limping, and because guys want to play. But like the one when he came out, when I asked him, I said, you're limping. He said, I got kicked. He didn't tell me it was his ankle. He just, I got kicked. And that happens obviously when you're in a flurry, it was when he was underneath the basket there. But you're always concerned about it because in this time of year, again, all you can do is try to rest them. And we got the best medical staff. We got the best trainer in the business and best, performance coach. And they'll work all night with those guys and make sure that anything and everything that can be done, they'll do it.
I'll just go to middle and then we'll get the last one on the back row.
Rick, John had 8 points tonight, 6 rebounds. Going back to whenever you decided to put him on the bench, how do you feel like he's responded to this point, kind of finding his groove again?
Well, he's all for it senior night. We'd ask him if he wanted to start his last senior, and he said, no, I don't. He said, I want to stay in this role. He feels like he's better coming off the bench. He feels like he can see the game and see where he needs to go in and be effective. But I thought, he passed the ball well tonight. We got him up there in the high, we were going with some ball screen action. We were getting that short roll and letting him kind of see what he could do with it. And he's really good out there whether he dribbles, passes, whatever, he makes the right things. But he's happy in that way. So we're gonna go that way with him.
Last question, back row.
Coach Barnes, after this year, this event will go to Nashville for a long time. Do you like the diversity of coming to a different place, having your fans travel to a different place? And I know for you and your players, it's the hotel and the gym, but do you have any sense for
you know, what this place offers for your
Well, again,
event?
and they're, I mean, they're doing a great job here, but obviously, you know, I'm partial to Nashville. I mean, I would always be partial to, you know, the state of Tennessee and what we have there. But you know, since I've been here, we went to St. Louis. They did a terrific job with the tournament. They've done it here, but if you're asking me, I'd like to have it in Thompson Bowling Arena. But the fact is, you know, I always will favor Nashville.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, thank you, guys.